Welcome back. Unusual. This whole land complex is a failed wildlife exhibition turned hunting reserve. You can't go 10 feet without stepping in unusual. But I reckon you're asking about people unusual. I'd go have a chat with the prophet of profitability. Maybe she can intuit you in the right direction or something. But she is mighty far in the depths of the reserve. Perhaps you should purchase one of my fine armaments for the journey. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. It is a perfectly normal name for a shop dispensing hunter supplies. Don't get... We're better to sell hunter supply. I've got an excuse. But the Prophet and her retreat don't. And they're even farther out. Prophet said I should gift her some right. I told...
Oh, hey there, stranger. Three legs, conical body, wearing a worker's hat. Well, normally I'd be inclined to disagree with you. Betty's... Seems I'm running my mouth too much. My mechanical I've been trying to track her, but the beasts make it hard. Personally, the shopkeep says I should buy one of his rifles and go looking myself, but...
We can help her out, right?
I know it's a pain. Betty's just your standard tripod mechanical. Though she probably is still wearing my hat. Without it, she seems kind of naked. Her main purpose is cacao milking, but the only cacaos in the reserve are close. Without a directive, she shouldn't have had reason to wander away from the milking area.
Like those boat buckets need a reason to do anything. It's probably searching the world for more things to milk.
Wouldn't make any sense. Ain't no cacaos out there. Betty's smarter than that. I'm contractually...
That don't usually happen.
I know. I don't think I've got bits enough to cover losing a mechanical. If you find...
No cacaos detected nearby. Returning to slug.
Oh, Betty, you big goof! What were you thinking in that little metal noggin of yours? You nearly worried me to death. And ain't you just the most reliable freelancer in the colony? Let me just take a look at Betty here and we'll talk about payment. Yep, that's right. Her parameters for... Since Betty's back safe and sound, I'll be sure to let my coworkers know that you're a good one. Here's some money for your... I'm...
Sure thing.
Sorry, but we're
Lawrence, do you know who you're...
the inspector? That's you? No, Law. It's all over.
Lawrence, let me do the talking here. Inspector, pay him... Don't pay him any mind. But seeing as you insist on sticking your... That is, since you're so... We, misplaced some people on our last tour. Misplaced them in the maws of some local predators. Hey, we all got our priorities. Not worrying. Anyway, the sooner we get those keys back, the sooner we can make it look like the ex-guest. Here's one. We ain't done nothing illegal. Still, it'd be a pain for Slug if we don't make it look like they checked out too. Byzantines aren't always put off by...
We knew sooner or later this was gonna happen. We've got some hush money.
You kidding?
Our bosses would want this situation We're the real victims here. The dead can't suffer anymore, but we can, and we will.
We're not out of the woods yet. We last saw the guests deeper in the wilderness, Inspector.
Sure.
Here they come! Got 'em all! Here we go!
If this is a cult, who am I kidding? It's a cult. Hold your judgment until you meet them. Some of my best friends were from Graham's camp.
The Prophet's treatments are intense. I nearly collapsed during the last session.
I'm going to absolutely murder the next quarterly report. Sure.
What's on your...
I'd have just broken it.
Might be for me.
That's the last of them. Here we go.
Sure thing.
What's on your...
The Prophet's treatments are intense. I nearly collapsed during the last session.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Warning: ingesting, smoking, or inserting. Side effects from extended exposure include dizziness, nausea, and analyzing. Complete. Substances include woolly cow. Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak of whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an afflicted individual has yet to be determined.
Fruitful and productive. I offer a wide... My disciples come to and from the Grand Colonial, bringing supplies. With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productive... Absolutely not. Any statements by Ms. Helen about us were blown out of proportion. Ah, excuse me. I seem to be remembering something that never happened. Whatever the case. Yes, I understand the pressure of one's... But you needn't worry about how this little... I'm delighted to extend... Yes, that's correct. Well, I suppose that does Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. Oh? I'm surprised. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. What... I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I... Well, whatever the case... I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills. Why, I've been at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve for... In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several... I'm pleased. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock... None of my clients have ever come... I'm...
Hello, welcome to the At least, that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, I'm a Oh, terribly sorry if I gave you that I mean, it might be nice if I had a little inclination of whether the Prophet... But whatever she thinks isn't for me to question. Of course, I've been studying under her for years. I know each of her techniques more or less by heart, and even how... She's promised me that I'd be allowed to open my own... Of course, I've been waiting on some... If you felt imbalanced and unproductive, linger... Sit for hours in our sweat house and remember... Oh my... Yes, this is important enough for me to delay my by-hour... Well, by and large, no. But A few hours after our high-profile visitor arrived a couple of days ago, the Prophet asked me to take over sessions for the remainder. At first, I was excited. Thought it was my chance to show her what I could do in charge. But then I saw that she was deeply worried about something. Yes, the circumstances there are quite unfortunate. For a time, the Prophet was completely despondent. However, we recently had a high-profile visitor whose presence seemed to alleviate what... I'm actually not entirely certain. It was a surreptitious visit that stood out because it was surreptitious. Whoever it was must have paid the Prophet quite a lot to keep... At least that's the only reason I can think of for... I was here, at the retreat in the company of the other disciples. Which is fine, of course. I do what I do in the service of the Prophet. Who will I... Actually, before you go, I noticed the Prophet dragging something, a bundle, away from the retreat after that high-profile guest arrived. Especially because whatever she was dragging seemed oddly... human-shaped. I think so. I could have, but I generally don't have the time or energy to leave the reserve to The Prophet hasn't been herself lately.
Who said that? I'll be sure to give them a special It was a bundle of clothing, brother. Even productivity yes. I suppose the more quickly we get off this subject, the better. I had a visitor, yes. But as it turned out, some of my productivity techniques... But their peers came and collected them shortly thereafter. It was... Perhaps it wasn't clothes. I had a visitor, yes. But as it turned... But their peers came.
How? Welcome back.
Gotta keep going. I can feel my inner negativity.
By imagining wealth, I can evoke prosperity out of the universe.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Identifying human footprints leading out into the wilderness. Scanning. Judging by error. Recalibrating. These...
What's on your...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability. Timeline. Judging by the shape of this indentation in the dirt, scanning for other details. Only... Agreed. Likely theory. Individual injured was unconscious. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability.
I'm delighted. Oh. Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. I, knowing the importance of the seminar, desired to truly galvanize her. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of productivity enhancement. After that, I entered a less than coherent state. I'm no medical professional, but that certainly seemed the case. My productivity-enhancing herbs typically do induce sluggishness. Do you jest? The guests at the Colonial eat no shortage of strange things, but I think corpses are perhaps... Besides, the hotel is ridiculously far. I couldn't have made it... What? Is this some kind of... No. Someone must have moved it after I killed her. One of my business rivals, waiting for me to... I don't believe you. I think this is all a trick. You're trying to catch me? No. You can't trick me. I finally discovered what's happening. You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable... You monster! What am I supposed to do now? They'll be here soon. And once they arrive... You're heartless, Inspector. How will I ever feel safe again? Oh.
Here they come.
You know, I never imagined Spencer Wood would outlive Halcyon Helen.
coming!
Watch it, we're almost exposed. Behind you, Captain!
Can't believe we gotta deal with marauders on Eridanos.
There's a killer on the loose.
Mr. Kincaid, I was nearly attacked by a terror ray. Bertie Holcomb is likely beside himself.
Why'd Helen have to go and die in our hotel? We don't need that kind of notoriety.
Here they come!
Hey there. Lawrence.
Let's see, which... Here you are, Inspector. We'll make sure... We'll wait here a little longer, and start clearing out their room.
Lawrence, we talk. Anyhow.
Ms. Leyva earned that title, but not for the reasons you'd expect. The Prophet business has been profitable for the hotel. Not so much for Ms. Leyva's followers. So? Really? Well, that makes things all... Does the Prophet strike... I'll bear that in mind. Thank you for the update, Inspector. Closely, That doesn't surprise me. With that in mind, do you think... No motive. That's... Unfortunately, even I don't have the authority to detain Cedric. His line of... Well, I'm glad to hear that. I've already...
Easy.
What the? I was going to wash my hands, I swear. I was nearly attacked by a terror ray on my way here.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just... Oh, don't be so squeamish. You won't find any viscera under... Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was... I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, you know, Spencer. But now I'm not... The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and test slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just... Oh, how curious. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon. You're a freelancer of some repute. Surely you're no stranger to seeing the interior or... Although, I suspect you do most of your work with a gun, and not a scalpel. What? Sorry, this mask. Sometimes I can't hear correctly. It almost... Maria's been killed. Helen's signature weapon. She brought it with her to the hotel. After we rather harmless on its own. Common ingredient in medicine, but it can... Potassium chloride, when delivered in a cocktail of neurotoxin and paralytic... Oh, merciful. Maria and I were frequently at loggerheads. We disagreed on practically everything. Apologies, Inspector. I don't have the heart to continue...
Profit of profitability. Only thing...
The Prophet of Profitability? That's a funny name. You'd expect that...
Inspector...
I can't believe Helen's gone. We're never going to get a sequel to Terror on Monarch.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk. How may I... I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover... That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing... Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Oh, my. Well, that is certainly odd. Ah, yes. Not to worry, Inspector. It was...
The brochure never...
Now, notice my battle-hardened physique, have you? Used to be in a mighty mean line of work. Been shot at 30... But, to be honest, I never really enjoyed it. When this position came up, well, Slug is something like an offshoot of Sublight. That said, my departure may... I mean, yes, but I still earned... Basically, I singled out a ship to salvage that I thought had been out for use for years. As it so happened, I still don't think she tried to use it to satisfy... Stories. Exactly. What? Oh, I'd... Now... Sorry, you look... I suppose you could call it that, but that don't mean I poked around her room or nothing while she was out. Besides, knowing Helen's athletic acumen, anyone who tried probably would have been found, beaten. Probably, that is. It'd probably happen.
If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get it.
I'm pretty happy working for Slug.
Gotta stay limber for...
Hey there. You a fan?
Zeke Hannigan, Rizzo's Rangers 16th bat. What can I... Since it's the off-season, we're helping support the launch of Rizzo Spectrum Brown. Meet the... Just... I spent... It's a damn shame about Miss Helen. Birdie... So... Oh, Birdie was mad about Helen. He was certifiable. The big galoot loved Helen about as much as he loved the game. Helen kept Birdie steady. If he lost his temper around her, it'd be because something... Miss Helen was outspoken. She made her share of energy. Just between you and me, I heard rumors the Prophet never much cared for Helen's brand of blunt honesty. I'm ashamed to admit it, but me and a couple of the other Rangers spent the night in Constable Keen's cells down at the spaceport. We didn't do anything serious, just a bit of pranks and vandalism. Guess Constable Keene saw things a bit different. No, we lost him somewhere along the way. Or maybe... But he was definitely not sharing his... What? Law, no. Birdie's got a few... What can I...
Mental note. Next time we got cows in the cargo bay, have a woolly cow party.
Multiple discrepancies detected. First discrepancy. Woolly cows are an import species for the wilderness exploitation. Second discrepancy. An accurate observation, Inspector. A brief survey of this area reveals that the most recent occupants were insufficient. A brief survey of localized property damage. This unit was likely occupied by every member of the reserve.
We're the future of Sublight. Just you wait and see.
Hotel rooms don't feel like home until you mess them up.
Easy.
Huh?
Nicely done.
What the? I better check it out.
What's on your mind?
What the? Hmm?
What the? Nicely done. Hell of a job.
Initiating Banter Protocol. Greetings, theater aficionado and/or dumbstruck. Burbage 3001's programming. Burbage 3001 was designed to. Burbage 3001. Now running shock and dismay protocol. This unit has not yet completed its grief cycle. This unit. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed. Expect a complaint to management. Now, you've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight. I'd give you a stern admonition. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. You're here to investigate me? Oh, I assure you. That was a quote from the Retiree's Revenge, in which I... Now, what shall I sign first, your weapon? I should think so. Signing things has always been... By the by... Oh. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand? You know, now that I look at you... Ask me anything. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most... I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clapped. How a lot. Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply... None that I can think of. Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the No? I did indeed. The way he... That, yes. Yes. This hotel is... But... Come now. Yes, that would be Burbage. It's hard for me to believe. Why, I'm merely... But... I was meditating. Respectfully, Inspector, it is... She told me... Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the I cannot recommend... Oh, come... Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my... In fact... I'm not too proud to admit it. I couldn't get work on my own. People kept talking about the charisma, as you may...
This you.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This is a bottle of unreleased Rizzo's product. Helen appears to have attempted to use it to spell something as she expired, but all she managed was a sticky bee. Rizzo's spectrum. This hypothesis is correct. Bertie Black. Accessing guest database. The Grand Colonial Hotel is proud to serve the following. This evidence. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis of this stovetop reveals approximating proximity to volatile gases. Searching Slug work logs. No, Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack. Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures. Slug or
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoke? Oh. You're the inspector? Here? I prep dishes day in and day out for guests. After all, I can take pride. No. Of course I did. I would never allow. Well. How? Oh, fine. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could. Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures. Let's not talk about the incident. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd... Well, it's a breach of professional... What? Truly? That's an alarm. But I don't believe that was a... I may have taken some... I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, Constable Key... Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, if you...
Did you hear that someone tore one of the...
Ah!
Ciao. Ciao. Io sono uno di quei froci che sta risolvendo questo cazzo di omicidio. Porco Dio, non puoi capire quanto è lunga questa missione. Andiamo al commissariato. Apri la porta del commissariato, interroga quello e c'ha le telecamere del porco di Dio. Cioè, io sono a 22 ore, a 22 ore e sto al 23% del gioco. 22.
Welcome back. Hopefully, law-abiding. Please speak clearly. All requests for security footage. Error. Bit processing unit has been removed. Temporary delivering footage. You would like a wine recommendation to...
No, grazie, sto a posto. Ma il cadavere della stronza, dove cazzo è finita, porco Dio. Oh, munizioni! Ma le butti? Allora, c'è un problema. Cosa è successo? Piano di VIP. Vai, andiamo. Quanta gente c'è da rompere i coglioni? Ah, tu. Tu no. Sì, ma c'è del sangue in questa camera, ragazzo. Non te lo vuoi.
I could not have asked.
Mi ammazzo io, finisco la mia vita, sto qua da 10 ore.
Well, if you must know, it's...
I've never heard of that. You sure you...
Oh, that's it. I'm... Tampering? No, no, no. I just happened to be passing through the kitchen.
Ma vaffanculo, ma chi ti crede? Tra un po'. No, ora non mi vedo. Come a luna? Cioè, tra mezz'ora? Che cazzo vengo? Cioè, vengo, faccio una partita e se tolgo. Un minuto. Non potere fame se io usate Gandalf, però mi dice.
I want to add another to the pile. As it so happens, I may not have had the... But before you indict me, please, just... Lie is such a strong word. But even if I had... Terra ray glands aren't supposed to be lethally poisonous. She would have had to eat 6 or 7 of the glands to die. And he... I only wanted her to be incapacitated during... Please think twice about telling the administrator of my... Tell him...
Ma vaffanculo.
My law, if you...
Cioè, questo ha avvelenato quella perché però non è morta per l'avvelenamento. Vabbè. Ma chi è che l'ha ammazzata sta stronza? C'era una pista, una, e non è quella. Questo stronzo che l'ha avvelenata, solo che poi dall'autopsia ti dicono che è morta sparata. Ma allora il veleno è perché l'ha messo, porco Dio. Negro. Ho capito, ma se l'autopsia prima mi dice è stata avvelenata, buono, capisco chi è che l'ha avvelenata e poi però tu mi dici che non è morta perché è stata avvelenata, perché è morta e è stata sparata. Perché mi hai fatto fare un'ora per scoprire chi è che l'ha avvelenata? In giro per la mappa, Dio merdoso.